On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy.
Savannah Guthrie's life has always looked polished from the outside, like a perfectly framed morning show shot where the lighting is just right and the smile never fades. Every weekday, millions of Americans see her sitting confidently on the Today Show couch, asking thoughtful questions, delivering breaking news with composure, and laughing easily with her co-hosts. But what most viewers never realized is that behind that calm presence was a woman carrying silent weight, navigating sudden turns that reshaped her life in ways no camera could capture. The devastating news that would quietly alter Savannah's path didn't arrive with a dramatic announcement or a viral headline. Instead, it unfolded slowly, privately, and painfully, forcing her to confront loss, uncertainty, and vulnerability at the very height of her public success. Savannah's story begins far from the bright lights of Rockefeller Plaza. She was born in Melbourne, Australia, but raised in Tucson, Arizona, in a household that valued education, resilience, and integrity. Her father, a respected attorney and judge, played a central role in shaping her sense of justice and curiosity about the law. But tragedy entered Savannah's life early. When she was just 16 years old, her father died suddenly of a heart attack. One moment he was there, steady and guiding, and the next he was gone. That loss carved something deep into Savannah's identity. It taught her how fragile life could be, how quickly everything could change, and how grief could exist quietly alongside ambition. While other teenagers were thinking about prom and college applications, Savannah was learning how to live with absence. That early trauma became both a wound and a motivator. Savannah pursued higher education relentlessly, earning her undergraduate degree from the University of Arizona before setting her sights on law school. She graduated from Georgetown University Law Center, one of the most competitive programs in the country, and began practicing law. On paper, her future looked secure and prestigious, but Savannah felt restless. The courtroom didn't fully satisfy her curiosity about people, power, and storytelling, so she made a bold pivot that many would have considered reckless. She left law to pursue journalism, starting at the bottom, working long hours and taking smaller roles just to learn the craft. Her rise in television was anything but overnight. Savannah worked as a correspondent, anchor, and legal analyst, slowly building credibility through intelligence rather than flash. When she joined NBC News, she became known for her sharp legal insights and calm demeanor during breaking news events. Over time, her reputation grew, and in 2012 she was named co-anchor of The Today Show, one of the most coveted positions in American television. It was a moment of triumph that seemed to validate every sacrifice she had made. But life, as Savannah would soon learn again, doesn't pause its hardships just because success arrives. Behind the scenes, Savannah's personal life was quietly unraveling. Her first marriage to British journalist Mark Orchard ended in divorce, a chapter she rarely discussed publicly. The separation wasn't marked by scandal or public drama, but it left her emotionally shaken. For someone who valued stability and partnership, the end of that marriage felt like another reminder that even carefully built lives can collapse. Savannah threw herself into work, often using her demanding schedule as a shield against loneliness. Then came a new beginning. Savannah met Michael Feldman, a communications consultant and former political aide, and their relationship moved at a pace that felt both exhilarating and grounding. They became engaged, welcomed their first child, and eventually married. For Savannah, motherhood was transformative. She often spoke about how becoming a mother reoriented her priorities, softened her perspective, and deepened her empathy. Watching her daughter Vale grow gave her a sense of purpose that no professional accolade ever could. Later, the birth of her son Charlie completed what Savannah described as her greatest joy. From the outside, it looked like she had finally found balance. But life had another sudden turn waiting. In 2019, Savannah received devastating news that would force her to confront fear in a way she hadn't since her father's death. doctors discovered that she had suffered a serious eye injury caused by a childhood accident that had gone unnoticed for decades. The injury, which occurred when she was a young girl playing with fireworks, had slowly worsened over time. Without warning, her vision began to deteriorate rapidly. Savannah was told that she was at risk of permanent vision loss in one eye. For someone whose career depended on reading teleprompters, analyzing scripts, and maintaining visual connection with viewers, the news was terrifying. But beyond the professional implications was a deeper fear. Savannah worried about how vision loss would affect her ability to be present for her children, to drive them, to read to them, to watch them grow. She kept much of this fear private, continuing to appear on television with her usual composure, even as she underwent multiple surgeries and treatments. The recovery was long, painful, and uncertain. Savannah experienced blurred vision, headaches, and emotional exhaustion. There were moments when she questioned whether she would be able to continue her role on the Today Show. Yet she showed up day after day, often hiding her discomfort behind a practiced smile. When she finally spoke publicly about her condition, viewers were stunned. The woman who seemed unshakable was quietly battling the possibility of losing her sight. As if that weren't enough, her professional world was also shifting beneath her feet. The Today Show became embroiled in high-profile controversies, including the sudden firing of co-anchor Matt Lauer amid serious allegations. Savannah found herself navigating an emotionally charged newsroom while trying to support colleagues, maintain professionalism, and process her own feelings of shock and betrayal. On air, she addressed the situation with honesty and restraint, earning praise for her integrity. But privately, the stress was immense. Trust had been broken, and the safe environment she once relied on felt unstable. These overlapping crises forced Savannah into a period of deep reflection. She began reassessing what truly mattered to her, not just as a journalist, but as a human being. She spoke openly about anxiety, self-doubt, and the pressure of being perceived as strong all the time. Savannah admitted that she struggled with the expectation to always have the right words, the right tone, the right reaction. The devastating news about her health had stripped away the illusion of control she had worked so hard to maintain. Yet in that vulnerability, Savannah found something unexpected: connection. Viewers who had followed her for years began to see her not just as a news anchor, but as a woman navigating the same fears they faced. Letters poured in from people who had experienced vision loss, grief, divorce, and burnout. Savannah's willingness to share her struggles made her presence on television feel more authentic than ever. Today, Savannah continues to sit on that familiar couch each morning, but she does so with a quieter confidence. She no longer pretends that life is seamless or predictable. The devastating news that once threatened to derail her life instead reshaped her understanding of resilience. She learned that strength doesn't come from never breaking, but from allowing yourself to be seen when you do. Her story is a reminder that behind every polished public figure is a private battle, often fought in silence. Savannah's sudden turn wasn't just about health scares or career upheaval. It was about learning how to live with uncertainty, how to let go of perfection, and how to choose presence over performance. And in doing so, she didn't just survive the devastation, she transformed it into a deeper, more honest way of living.